Imagine today is 10th March 2025. A celebrity young man, highly successful tech wizard, has just raised $100 million USD funding and is basking in its glory. But somehow he's very sad. He's very lonely. So he decides to hook up on a dating site with a like-minded girl. They get along so well that it seems that the match is made in heaven. They share everything and are truly connected at emotional level. He decides to move the relationship forward and wants to meet up with the girl. He tries, but fails. Red alert. But our hero is a tech wizard and has surely got some great connection in the tech world. So he decides to probe further. He's shocked to find the results. I know what you all are thinking, that it's not a girl. Big deal, happens many times. No, it is something more than that. She is not even a human. It's an AI bot. This is, ladies and gentlemen, what I call as a state of singularity, which we all are moving towards. This is a state where we will lose to differentiate between humans and machines. And we are moving towards that world very, very fast, knowingly or unknowingly, and even more so, willingly or unwillingly. Hello, friends. Let us understand the journey a little bit. If you open any news or read anything on technology, any business disruption, any sector, any news on any sector, you will hear these fancy terms like artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, and of late you might have started hearing things like metaverse, crypto, all sorts of stuff. Our life is continuously getting disrupted, and the rate of change has been phenomenal, both at our personal as well as our business lives. As an avid follower of technology development, the more I read, the more I get excited. Many times confused and even sometimes scared. In today's world, how does one make sense of what all is happening around us? Let me discuss with you few fundamental drivers that are driving all these changes around us. Few of them have been indicated by Dr. Caesar Sen-Gupta, former Vice President of Google Inc. In fact, not just in the technology industry, but in every industry, there are disruptions which are happening. Every company of the future is going to be a tech company. The lines between the industries are blurring. The telcos are becoming banks, banks are becoming tech companies, and tech companies are trying to play the role of a god in some cases. Now, software is getting embedded everywhere. Mark Anderson, who was the inventor of web browser, wrote a quote 10 years back, software is eating the world. Many people laughed at that. Earlier, it was thought that software was only going to be left limited to the technology industry. But today, you can see that it's leaping industry and starting to redefine how industries are shaped across the world. The best example is Tesla. The valuation of Tesla in October 21 was greater than the valuation of top 10 automakers combined together. And it is because Tesla makes better cars? Not necessarily. It's because they have rethought the complete industry by applying software to it in a scale that is unprecedented in many ways. People look at Tesla and think it's a car company, but actually it's a software company which has gone into automobile industry and have completely redefined it. And that is going to happen in all the industries in near future. Second fundamental change is the democratization of technology. Low code or no code is going to be the future. What it does, it will allow individuals and companies to become much more proactive and efficient. Large enterprise softwares will give way to small microservices platforms and integrators. Every employee, like you and me, will be producer and consumer of software. Will be capable, all of us will be capable of creating our own AI and ML algorithms in future. It's the first time in the history of the world that in 2021, the number of technology people hired by non-technology companies is much more than tech people hired by the tech companies. Another fundamental change is the rise in smartphones and how smartphones are getting everywhere. For many, it is not only their only device of computing, but in fact, it is their first experience with computing. So the smartphone is their vision of how they look the world as. And this vision is going to be very different than you and me, whose first vision of computing was either a laptop or a desktop. Almost 4 billion users who are starting to use phones as their primary device, not only for communication, but also for entertainment, even education, and also it is their primary device for business communication. So today there are almost 4.6 billion people on internet, and almost same are going to be added in very near future. For them, a mobile phone is their primary business device. And they are not only they are people who are mobile first. Most of the people in the future are going to be mobile only. So all the businesses of the present and future will have to cater for their needs, or else someone else will cater for their needs. The fourth fundamental change is a rise in cloud computing. Today, increasingly with the cloud, your services are run from somewhere, data is sitting somewhere, we don't even know. Sorry. But what it does is this change has given businesses access to the kind of technology and services that were impossible in the previous generation. With current penetration of cloud adoption at only 10%, mark my words, it is only 10% adoption of cloud currently. In my opinion, in next 5 or 10 years, we will see a lot more computing just moving to the cloud. And this is obviously will have tremendous implication on all kinds of businesses. So in today's environment, a small company in the outskirts of Mumbai can overnight become a global service provider, as infrastructure is no more a constraint. So amidst all these exciting things which we see happening around us, we also need to see the other side of the coin, the cybersecurity, which can also and will surely become disruptive, and in some case will also become fatal, and is surely going to impact all of us at psychological level, as we have seen in my first example. One of the biggest implication of this is that employees and companies are now going to be using a lot more different types of softwares and applications, and all are going to run in an integrated manner. I feel on an average, all of us uses at least 50 to 60 applications on our mobile phones. With increased interoperability comes an expanded attack surface. As companies uses APIs to bring in additional data sources or integrate with other platforms and softwares, the challenge of vetting these services becomes even more important. Threat can emerge from any direction, and the impact is going to be severe in most of the cases, if not catastrophic always. Cybersecurity conversations are shifting from IT heads and CTOs to boards and investors. Earlier, it was manageable to secure the premise, as most of the infrastructure and data was residing within the premises. But as we evolve towards work from anywhere concept and the cloud infrastructure is getting much more adoption, the concept of organization's perimeter is diminishing and moving towards a borderless organization is becoming a reality. Hence, the protection is becoming and also moving from a centralized to more edge devices like phones, laptops, and other edge devices. Also, the attackers targeting operation technology are increasing. The OT, the smart lighting, smart power, smart electricity, autonomous cars, everything comes under the OT platforms. The OT systems are attractive for attack, both for their business impact as well as these systems are less likely to be updated, patched, and refreshed at the rate at which typical IT systems are done. Most of them are legacy systems and are created for isolated use. And so security was never kept in mind when these systems were created. Compromise of these software can have catastrophic results. Last 5 years has seen massive growth of IoT devices getting connected to the internet. Transformer Insight estimates around 28 billion devices will be connected online by 2030 or maybe earlier. What it means that for every human being alive on this planet, we will have 4+ devices connected at internet at any point of time. That is lots of devices. We should be worried if someone is listening to us 24/7 in this ever connected world. So privacy is surely going to be a big issue going further. Also, the attacks through IoT are getting severe and brutal. Case in point is a ransomware attack which happened in 2021 on Colonial Pipeline in US. It is by far the largest attack on the oil infrastructure in US, but it is surely not the last one. The attacks in future are going to be much more brutal, much bigger, and more frequent. Meta has launched avatars. We all are super excited about our new way of interaction in this new digital 3D world. In very near future, all of us are going to have our own avatar or avatars. And this is the way we are going to be interacted with new other avatars or other humans through those personalities. It may lead to many dissociated personality disorders or split personalities. The ever diminishing social contact will further get reduced. We have experienced this during our corona crisis. My 9-year-old daughter is still not comfortable with touching anything which comes from outside, or she is not comfortable if someone touches her. Imagine the next generation living their entire life like that. I can go on and on this, but as I said in the beginning, whether willingly or unwillingly, we are moving towards the lives which will be more digital, if not completely. And our actions, choices, and opinions will be mostly decided by someone else. The true price of digital convenience will be loss of our freedom. Let me repeat this statement. The true price which we are going to pay for this digital convenience will be loss of our freedom. So this is the time before it is too late to take a step back, think, and decide what life do we want for ourselves and for our next generation. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.